I'll call this meeting to order. This is a legally constituted meeting of the Town of Charlotte Planning Board. Legal notice of this meeting has been posted in the Gates Charlie News and on the bulletin board in vestibule of the Town Hall. If you could, please silence and turn off all phones and pagers, and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In the event of an emergency, please use the exits at the front and the rear of the room. We will proceed with the agenda in the order it was published unless otherwise noted. When called, please proceed to the podium, state your name, and if you're representing an applicant, indicate the applicant's name. Review the details of the application. Planning board members and side table participants will address questions and concerns to the applicant or the representative. For the public hearing portion of the meeting, upon completion of comments from the board and the side table, anyone wishing to comment on the application will be heard. If you wish to speak, please wait to be recognized by the chairperson. Stand, state your name and address for the record. Please speak so all can hear your comments and address all comments and questions to the chairperson. I'll now introduce the board members and the side table participants. To my far left is Joe Defendis, Matt Emmons, Al Hellaby, I'm Mike Nyan, Glenn Hyde, David Cross, and Paul Blozier. At our side table, our planning board counsel is Matthew Piston, department manager Paul Wanzenreed, our town engineer Michael Hanscom, our planning board alternates Keith Bozek and Michael Leone, and our recording secretary tonight is Sandra Hewlett. First application is the application of the Charlie Fire Department, 3231 Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York 14624. Applicant owner for a subdivision approval of one lot into two parcels, property located at 3231 Charlie Avenue in the GB district. And I will recuse myself from this hearing as my involvement with the Charlie Fire Department, and ask Al if you could continue on with the meeting.
Why don't you sit down, sir? How does this alter issue?
One of them's got to step up.
You just pick one of them, or?
I got to do rock, paper, scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors, there you go. One of you come up here, please. This whole process is so new. Are you Keith or Michael? Huh?
I'm Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, I'm having an issue with my computer for 1 second.
Tell me when you're set.
To shut down and redo it for a minute.
How's that chair feel?
Interface.
No,
Do you feel smarter?
probably operator error if we're being honest, but I'm just gonna reset it. Okay, good
Yes.
job. Yep.
Sir?
Sorry about
Okay.
that.
All right. Floor's yours, sir.
Thank you. I'm David Cox with Castro Associates, the civil engineer for the project, here on behalf of the Charlie Fire Department. Now that they're fully moved into their new building, their old building, which was right next door on the left side of the page, not really any need for that building anymore for the fire department. The new building satisfies all their requirements and needs, so they're looking to portion that off so they could possibly sell that to, for further development or other uses of that property. So tonight we're just here for a subdivision approval to essentially subdivide off the old fire station building property.
All right, I think the town engineer just had a couple of issues that were in his review letter that you people already corrected. Is that true?
Yeah,
Can you
that's
just
right.
mention what they were,
Yeah, I can.
just so we can put in the record?
So the first one was they wanted the date, library, and page added to each of the parcels currently held by the owner. So we
Yep.
added that to the map. They wanted the acreage and square feet to be added to existing and proposed lots. So we added that to the map. And then the next three all had to do with access to the rear property. So there's a property at the bottom below the new firehouse. So we need to have a 40-foot wide easement all the way back to that property. Currently, there's only a 20-foot wide easement. So by providing a 40-foot wide easement, that will meet the town code. So the next three had all to do with that 40-foot access easement, which we've added to the map. Then the next one was add a lot dimensional requirement for the general business zoning district. So we added that to the map. And then just that the applicant needs to provide written response to each of the comments, which we did. And if planning board approval was granted, we requested it be contingent on town engineer and commissioner of public works approval, which we agree with as well. So that for all the comments.
Just a curiosity question more than anything. If I remember rightly, wasn't there a radio tower down there that had a whole bunch of antennas on it on the back corner of the existing fire hall? Is that where I was thinking?
So there is, that's on the,
Yeah.
behind the building. Oh, yeah, that one right there. Yes, so.
I thought there was more than just your folks' antennas on there. I was just curious on how you were going to address that if the property was sold.
They've been moved.
Did they move them?
Yep.
All right, that's all. Just curiosity. That's all I got, Joe.
I don't have anything.
Yeah.
Nothing at this time.
Mike?
Nothing?
Yeah, just real quick with the new lot, David, do you need any variances?
No worries.
No variances? Okay, that's all.
All set. Mike?
No additional comments.
No additional comments.
No. All right. With that, we'll go to the audience. Any concerns or questions from the audience? Seeing none, I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
Second. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We have to see, right? We have to do this. Here, I make a motion to declare the board lead agency as far as seeker, based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, determine that the application to be an unlisted action or with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'll vote yes.
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 As far as the vote on the subdivision, pretty straightforward. They want to waive final, right?
Yes.
Thoughts, concerns? As far as conditions, I've got approval is subject to final approval by the town engineer and commissioner of public works. The town engineer and commissioner of public works shall be given copies of all correspondence with other approving agencies. Applicant shall comply with all Monroe County Development Review Committee comments. All previous conditions imposed by the board are still in effect. And the only reason that's out there is because I don't know what other conditions might be there, so it's just a coverall. And copies of all easements associated with this project shall be provided to the Assistant Town Engineer for approval, and all information, i.e. library and page numbers, shall be noted on the Mylars, which I already said was done. Anything else? All right, with that, to the vote, application of Charlotte Fire Department, 3231 Charlotte Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14624. Applicant owner for subdivision approval waiving final for one lot into two parcels at the property located at 3231 Charlotte Avenue. Second.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'll vote yes.
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 You're good to go, bud.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Our next application is the application of Bruce Blankenship, Morton Buildings, 36 Tempest Street, Perry, New York, 14530. Applicant, Sreven and Nadine Arndt, 48 Colby Street, Spencerport, New York, 14559. Owner for a preliminary site plan to construct 6,888 square feet warehouse with offices at the property located at 3504 Union Street in the GI District.
Blankenship, Morton Buildings. We're here to seek approval of the board for the Arts to be able to build their business located at the Chilai address. I've received the town engineer's recommendations. We looked at them. I guess we're here to listen to the board's concerns or anything that they would like to add. You don't see anything in the engineer's recommendations that isn't something that we can go after. Want to discuss those each one by one? Not sure which.
If you could just give a brief overview of what's currently on the property and what you intend on doing with it and the use of it.
So we were here last, and we were trying to put up a building, and we were looking for a mixed-use variance, which wasn't going to actually work out. So there's two residential homes located at the front of the property. The Arts have been working with the town to be able to, I believe they haven't obtained the permit at this building, at this point, to be able to demolish those two buildings. So they wouldn't need a mixed-use variance any longer. And we've actually, since we were here last, we made the building a little bit larger. Landlord put together and plotted out the building. We moved it a little bit closer to the front of the property. And at this point in time, there is a floor plan for the Arts to be able to have a small office space in the front of the building, and the rest of the building is just primarily going to be storage warehouse space. They are going to use some of it. They're very small business, they only have a few employees. They are going to use some of it to be able to do any type of repairing, have a small shop area. Mr. Jason also does tin knocking for ducts and things like that, so they'll be doing regular tin knocking in the building. They want to keep their trucks that they use for doing house calls in the building overnight. They're not going to be doing any type of service work in there. There's not going to be any lifts. They're going to be in there replacing engines or anything like that. And the pad has actually been gravel for some time. There was some things in the letter that we received from the town engineer concerned with the water. I've been on the property myself personally working several times. We do realize there are some wetlands toward the back of the property. I actually helped perform a geotest there where we actually tested for the compaction of the soil. I didn't find any water subbase. The test out excellent. It tested out at 3,000, which is great. We're putting in concrete footers and having that soil compaction that you need to be able to hold the building. At this time, like I said, we're looking for approval from the board, so we can try to move forward and get this built. They approved the building almost a year ago at this point. So.
Okay. Joe?
Based on the engineer's comments, it appears the biggest issue, well, two issues. Number one, you're supposed to have 25 parking spots. You only got 3 on the property, which have to be addressed unless you're going to get a variance from the zoning board.
Right. I believe that we'd be looking for relief from that, but I also, to the back of the property, since we've moved the building forward, there's 100+ feet square in both directions that we can easily add parking spots back there.
Okay, and then there's supposed to be truck dock in there specifically for the size building. Same thing?
Yeah, I saw that. I believe that we'd be looking for, to be able to put that with the request from zoning. They don't have type of deliveries that one would be thinking of where they'd have 18-wheelers unloading constant cargo. They don't have that type of a business where it would be making use of a loading dock.
So there's enough space in the back for banking the parking spots that you're not going to build?
Right. If you look at the, I don't know if you have a copy of the Glen Thornton's site plan, but if you look at that chunk in the back, that's 100 by 100 square in the back. That's gravel currently right now.
Okay. Thank you. I'm all done.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we just need to see how you're going to resolve those things on the drawing.
Right.
Have Glenn draw those and how you're proposing to do that, or if you're not proposing to do it and you're going to go to the zoning board.
I don't see a problem with that. They just meeting, I believe it was 23 cars. Getting spots situated. The arms, right now, their office staff is 2 people. So the amount of people based off from the parking is just, they won't have the cars to fill those spots.
Yeah, no, and I don't know if it wasn't explained to you. I'm glad to hear that, or happy to listen to what you're saying, but the zoning board has to hear that, and you have to apply for that and get the variance from them, so.
I get it. I get it.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying that.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeking variance for that. I think we can get very close.
Yep.
He
Yeah,
currently
no,
has, Matt, he currently has a variance application which will cover loading berths, deficient parking, the undersized lot, the inadequate lot width, and there's one other, it's escaping me right now. But everything you've raised and Mr. Defendus has raised is being covered in a variance application, which will be heard at the end of October.
Yeah, I'm gonna be back.
Anything else, man?
Yeah, I'm good.
Something else to think about, somewhere in this stuff I read that this back couple of bays, you were gonna actually wall that off and rent them out? Is there a reason for that? I mean, why couldn't you just move that back wall further in to pick up all that other space back there? And some of the ideas that you gotta start thinking about, but you're trying to cram an awful lot of building in this lot, I'll be 100% honest with you.
Well, the percentage is low relative to the square footage of the lot. The bays that are put back there are, it's not like they're gonna be businesses or anything like that. They have some RVs they want to put in the bays, that sort of thing. There's 2 bays that are 21 by 42. If they just want to put some RVs in, and then the 2 in the back are smaller bays, just would be for small items, winter storage for cars or whatnot.
So that would eliminate all your said, bank parking kind of thing there too, so.
Still
I just,
100
things to think about.
No, I hear you, it's still 100 feet from the back of the building to the back of the
100 feet
property.
is a lot of distance.
I agree.
All right. Somewhere else in here, I believe, I thought I read that there was gonna be no services into this building. Is that a true statement?
Since they've changed to take down the houses, they want to use one of the houses for their offices. Since they've changed their minds, they're taking the houses down now. They've got a floor plan for the offices, so yes, there's going to be power, there's going to be water. The site plan is addressing.
So you'll be utilizing all those services that presently enter that property.
Pardon me?
You'll hopefully be using those services that enter that property.
Absolutely, yeah, we've met with our G&E, we have a handle on the utilities.
It's only meant for
Okay. Is the entire area along the building and around the perimeter going to be gravel?
It currently is, yes.
Okay, and that's what it will be, all gravel, okay. And landscaping, will you be doing any landscaping?
They've chosen to go ahead with the town to be able to avoid the landscaping plan to go
Okay.
ahead and do the 1%.
Okay. That's all I have.
I'm good. So Bruce, you mentioned both houses would come down. There's a garage as well. Is that coming down as well?
Absolutely, because the garage, the very front of that 2-car garage, I guess it is, you could call it, is actually the very front of the building, so, correct.
Okay. I'm good, Mike.
Okay. Dave? Anything from the site, Dave? No? Okay. This time I'll open the public comment. Anybody from the audience wish to make any comments? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I also vote yes. Any further discussion? There was a floor plan in here that shows bathrooms, storage, break room, offices, and a main office.
Well, our hands are kind of tied until we get through the zoning board, correct?
No, we can move forward without the zoning board. Just change things if the zoning board decides not to approve it.
Your preliminary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
he was asking for 3 parking spaces relief, not 22.
How many employees are there working during the day? How many employees, not in the building, but that come and get vehicles and then go out into the field?
There's 3.
Total?
And then there's 2 ops, yeah, so there's Nadine Arnett, and then they've got another girl that works for them.
Okay. And then with service vehicles, you said the service vehicles will be parked in the building?
Right.
How many service vehicles are there?
Currently they have 3.
So there's 3 employees that drive each of those? So there's, okay.
So there's Jason, he's the owner, and then they have 2 other people.
So you need at least enough parking, designated parking spaces for everybody that'll be working there every day
Agreed.
at a minimum. And if you can't provide the remaining, then you'd have to get a variance. Paul, was this a request for final as well, or no?
Yes.
All right,
Can we ask one more question?
certainly.
What's going on with the driveway to the south?
So I did read that in the comments of the letter that we received from the town engineer, and as far as it goes, I guess that goes 2 ways. They either have to cut it off, or they have to be able to get the owner to the south to agree, to have that there.
Because I don't like to deal in ambiguities, I want you to commit to one or the other. Basically, I want you to commit to removing it. Okay? So you got one legal access, and that's the driveway to the north. And that's what Glenn, I think, is showing on his site plan. So let's remove the one to the side.
I'd have to,
One to the north. Yeah.
well, the other comment there, if I could talk about from that. Sure. I mean, that ranch home that they're taking down, I have no clue how old it is. I just see, getting them, seeing if they, actually got it for it. But I mean, I don't know how far back that goes. The driveway's probably been there since who knows when, but I mean, that's obviously something that we have to look into. But the driveway to the south, we have to have them decide what they want to do with it. It's not mine.
How much of that driveway is on the other property? Is that what you're saying, Paul?
There's a portion of it that, of the existing southern driveway that crosses the property boundaries.
I've got one that's a little bit blown up if you want to see it.
I have this one here.
All right.
Not seeing the edges of the driveway, that's all.
Yes.
Oh, I see where it is now. Yeah, it just kind of curves out beyond the property line.
Yes, it does. I'm not sure what went on with the property line. I've heard stories where that both the south property and the Arns property was once upon a time one. Something happened where it was divided, and that's how the property line got set.
What's the width of the driveway at that point where it crosses the property line, do you know?
I'm just guessing at this point, but it's good size and beyond the apron of it. It's probably all close to 14, 16 feet. It's not
okay.
right
I know.
Paul, what are the options to move the
So
driveway
here's,
off of the property line?
you can move it off the property line. Here's a better play. We request that the applicant provide to the building department, make this a condition, provide to the building department verification from the state DOT that both are legally permitted accesses, curb cuts. Typically, the state's only going to give you one. So we want to know if he goes to the DOT and they can provide a documentation that says it's legal, both are legal, then he can adjust it accordingly off the property line. But that would be acceptable to the town. And if only one is legal, the state's going to tell them which one.
Mike has something too.
Just a couple of things that there were in my comments that didn't get touched on is, one, there's a dumpster on the property, so you'll need to provide a dumpster enclosure. If they intend on maintaining a dumpster, then they have to provide a dumpster enclosure for it.
No problems with
Okay. And with the drywall that you're proposing, you do need to provide evidence that it's going to work. That's why I was asking for the perk tests and the deep holes and stuff. Great. Thank you.
If he's doing the 1%, I won't need that landscape certificate per Mike's comments.
Okay. Any other comments or conditions? Okay. I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency as far as seeker, and based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, determine the application to be an unlisted action with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Mike? You're going to want to, on the record, correct the short environmental assessment in the public realm here. His short EAF.
Those two questions, right?
It's number 10 in Mike's comment letters. There's two answers that were incorrect.
Number 10, it's being connected to public water. Is that the one you're referring to, Paul?
Third page of my comment letter, down to the bottom, I have a couple of comments regarding
Right. Paul indicated it was question number 10. Is that the one you're referring to?
No,
It's 10 on his.
it's 10 on Mike's letter.
letter.
It's
So
page 2, question 12 and
B.
13. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just reading it. 'cause I got it.
Is it? So I don't have to open the letter.
12B says, "The answer provided is incorrect. As per the New York State DEC EAF online mapper, the project site or any portion of it is located in or adjacent to an area designated as sensitive for archaeological sites on the New York State Historic Preservation Office of Archaeological Site Inventory."
Those are both yes, correct?
Yep, and then page 2, question 13A.
So I will make corrections on the SEAF, to question 12A and B, and question 13A, that is yes. Anything else? So then, as far as seeker, I'll make a motion, we'll start over with that, to declare the board lead agency based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, and with the changes made to this application, seeker SEAF short form. Determine the application to be an unlisted action with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Second?
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. As far as conditions for this application, approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works. The town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. Applicant to comply with all pertinent Monroe County Development Review Committee comments. Applicant to comply with all required life safety conditions and permits from the town fire marshal. It's pending approval of the Zoning Board of Appeals for all required variances. Applicant to comply with all conditions of the Zoning Board of Appeals as applicable. In lieu of landscaping, applicant make a donation to the town's tree planting fund in the amount equal to 1% of the total project cost. Building permits shall not be issued prior to the applicant comply with all conditions. Applicant is subject to all required permits, inspections, and code compliance regulations. The applicant must show proof to the Town of Charlotte Building Department from the New York State Department of Transportation that both curb cuts are legal. If both are legal, the driveway needs to be moved off the neighboring property. Any other conditions?
I guess a question on general industrial zoning. Are there any requirements on outside storage? We talked earlier, or was mentioned earlier, about storing RVs or vehicles outside. That's why I
I thought
asked.
they were being stored inside. The RVs were being stored inside, correct?
Yeah, inside.
Oh, inside, okay, sorry.
Okay, with those conditions, the application of Bruce Blankenship, Morton Buildings, 36 Tempest Street, Perry, New York, 14530 applicant, Sreven and Nadine Arndt, 48 Colby Street, Spencerport, New York, 14559. For the owner,
You missed the dumpster. Is he having one or not?
yes.
Sorry, Mike.
Adding provide dumpster enclosure and for preliminary site plan approval with waiver of final to construct 6,888 square foot warehouse with offices at the property located at 3504 Union Street in the GI district.
We're really gonna waive final?
You don't want to?
Well, I mean,
No,
we just added the dumpster enclosure. We should see the materials on what that is, don't we think? We normally do. And there's 4 variances, right?
yeah, I think, I'd like to see a final application.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm.
The arts and dumpster to comply with your dumpster request. I mean, it's been pretty easy going with everything across the board.
Yeah. No, it's just, like I said, we normally see the materials of that so that we all agree that we know what we're getting or not getting, and it's the same thing with the 4 variances. I mean, I hope that you get your variances, but if you don't, we're gonna have to see that stuff drawn on the drawing and where it fits or doesn't fit, which I think it will, but it's gonna have to be drawn and confirmed. Just feel like we're a little too far ahead here.
Okay, for this to be a preliminary site plan approval only to construct 6,888 square foot warehouse with offices at the property located at 3504 Union Street in the GI district. Do I have a second?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I also vote yes, preliminary is approved. So after you go to the zoning board of appeals, then you'll be coming back to our board to present your plan with the options that have been noted.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. No, I think I'm okay. Thanks. Next 3 applications, the application of Bill Howard, Vista Villa Holdings LLC, 3313 Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14624, applicant owner, to amend subdivision approval of the Vista Villas Phase 2, granted April 9th, 2024, to create a public service utility parcel of property located at 100 Clubhouse Drive in the PRD District. The application of Bill Howard, Vista Villa Holdings LLC, 3313 Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14624, applicant owner, to amend site plan approval of Vista Villas Phase 2, granted April 9, 2024, to create a public service utility parcel of property located 100 Clubhouse Drive in the PRD district. Did you see any difference in those two?
I didn't, that's why I had problems with that thing.
All right. Application of Bill Howard, Vista Villa Holdings LLC, 3313 Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14624, applicant owner for a preliminary subdivision of one lot, remaining lands into two lots, the property located at 100 Clubhouse Drive in the PRD district. Hi.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Fred Shelley from BME Associates, the civil engineers representing Vista Villas Holding LLC, the applicant. It's up to the board. We prepared to speak on the site itself for the phase 2, and then we can roll into the other realty subdivision after that first presentation that pleases the board.
Sure.
Thank you for the board for hearing our request for subdivision and site plan modification and approval extension, as well as to the April 9th, 2024 planning board preliminary approval for the Vista Villas Phase 2 subdivision. This modification specifically requests, it results from continued Gates-Chile Ogden Sewer District coordination for the design of the pump station parcel. Currently, the pump station is located in the same place that it was originally proposed, going all the way back to 2015. Which is just on the north side of the proposed Vista Villas roadway, just west of Archer Road where that intersection connects. This pump station will serve all 47 homes within phase 2, and it's been sized to accommodate a little additional flow, but essentially it's just to serve this site. All the remaining parcels with phases 3 through 6 of the development will be able to utilize gravity sewer flows to the north and across the railroad. That'll be addressed through future final plan submissions to the town. Phase 2 of the project is discussed. It included, just as a summary of the development, it included approximately 15.8 acres of land being subdivided into 47 single-family lots, and again, it did include that current location of the pump station. Within it, it was at the time a regular shaped portion of the right-of-way. We had proposed a 64-foot wide right-of-way, and then the remaining area north of that right-of-way, just the sliver of land, totals about 5,170 square feet of land area, in which the sewer district has requested that land area be conveyed to them by title, just so that they own it. They're not an easement. That's been their preference. So we have been, while we were going through the approvals for phase 2, also coordinating with the Pure Water District and the sewer district, just to get that design refined. That includes also above-ground structures. One of the structures is typical with the sewer district pump stations, is the control panel, approximately 6 feet wide, about 3 feet, or 6 feet tall, about 3 feet by 4 feet. And then they've also requested a standby generator to be located on the site. That'll be on the west end of the proposed facility. Standby generator is about 7.5 feet long, about 4 feet tall, and about 3 feet wide as well. So that's the only equipment that will be visible from the surface. The pumps for the pump station are all submersible pumps that are located within the manhole for that. Again, their request does initiate the creation of this 5,100 square foot parcel. The facility remains generally consistent with the previous approvals, but it does include some of the updates, and that was, as I said, the generator control panel locations. We also have determined through our work with the sewer district that we can color coordinate the generator and the control panel. Typically around in the district, they have a bright blue control panel. We were able to paint match that to it's sort of a tan or a beige generator shell out, so we can get those two to coordinate their colors. We've also proposed landscape screening on the west end of the facility to interrupt the view of the above-ground structures for traffic entering into the site. And then there was also a discussion of a fence screen around the control panel. However, Pure Waters and the sewer district has indicated that they would not like to have any fences located on there just because it's going to interrupt their operations. So that vegetative screening located on the west is currently proposed in lieu of that fence. The creation of the parcel requires area variances, which were obtained at the September 24th, 2024 Zoning Board of Appeals. Area variance to allow the creation of a 5170 square foot parcel where 10,000 square feet is required, and then also area variances for front and rear setbacks for the generator control panel, the equipment, as the town sees those as a structure or a building, so they require front and rear setback variances. Both of those, all of those variances were obtained, as I said, at the September 24th meeting. One big thing to take away is if the facility remained within the right-of-way and the sewer district was accepting of that, basically none of those variances would have been required, but because we're breaking the parcel apart, we didn't obtain those variances because of the individually owned for the public utility service provider. Plans and application materials were reviewed by town staff and the town engineer. We did receive comments from the town engineer, and we provided written responses by letter dated October 3rd this year. Most of the comments were generally technical. However, some of them did include verification of topography. We will work with the town engineer and town staff on that. One comment came up with potential for a retaining wall. We do not anticipate the need for any retaining walls. We'll be able to finish this site off with slopes between 3-on-1 to 6-on-1, so there'll be both mobile slopes. The modification is generally consistent with past approvals as well as the previous seeker review of the site. And upon planning board approval, will advance the pump station design to formalize that with the Pure Waters District. Ogden Sewer District. Considering the coordination that needs to go on, the applicant does request a 90-day extension to the planning board approval just to cover that so that we can wrap that up and capture that with, while we get through the town and sewer district and other miscellaneous agencies that will need to review and approve this. And then lastly, we'll just restate the applicant's request to waive the final planning board hearing and continue to work with town staff, DPW, and the town engineer to resolve any of the outstanding issues with the site. So with that modification, I'm happy to take any questions or comments from the board or staff, or I can roll into the two-lot residential. Sorry, realty subdivision.
Any questions? This was for the, just for the subdivision of the pump station, et cetera.
Subdivision and site plan modification to the previous.
Any questions, Joe?
All set. All set.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Touch on the 90-day extension.
90-day extension. So April 9th was when we received our preliminary planning board approval. So we have 190 days to obtain all approvals. So what we're requesting is the board allows 2 90-day approval extensions. So that is one request that the applicant is seeking from the next meeting.
Okay. You're all set, you're all set, you're all set, you're all set. That was it? That's all you have?
Yeah, it's that final, 6 months final approval thing.
Why don't you go ahead then and roll into the other applications? Go ahead and.
Absolutely, yes. So let me flip over my board.
Is this time to make comments on the first proposal?
No, we'll do them all at once.
Again, Fred Shelley from BME, representing this holding. The applicant is requesting preliminary subdivision approval and waiver of final planning board hearing to permit this proposed 2-lot realty subdivision. Essentially what this subdivision will result in is a 42.7-acre parcel including the development areas with phases 3 through 6. And that boundary is delineated based on the previous preliminary plan approval. So that boundary is the same as the previous approvals. And then the remaining land is 223.5 acres of the remaining land, so that's all the areas that are to the east and south of the development area. Essentially, the owner wants to get those split apart. The only future subdivision applications that will have to come before the board will be for the individual sections. So those will all be submitted as a final subdivision application based on preliminary approvals, and then they'll go through a case-by-case basis. The plans also include just, considering that it's been a while since the original preliminary plans were approved. The boundaries are intended to remain consistent with as proposed. However, we have included a exterior drainage and grading easement to benefit the development area, so that if any additional grading outside of that development area needs to occur just to match it in contours topography, they'll be able to do that. This proposal is in conformance with past seeker review and resolutions. As I said, future sections will come in before the board for final approvals. We did receive review comments from the town engineer, and we don't see any issues with addressing those with future plans submissions.
No comments at this time.
No comments?
No.
Side table?
One question. So with regards to areas 3 through 6, any future stormwater management plans and stuff like that, are they going to fall within the boundaries of that parcel, or are you going to be providing easements, drainage easements outside of that?
They do go outside of that area. However, with that easement that we proposed, it includes areas that were identified on those plans for future stormwater, and really we would, and then get a little extra room as well. So as stormwater regulations change, sometimes the stormwater facilities might need to be revised, updated, or additional. However, we feel we can provide sufficient additional area within those easements, which can be transferred as necessary.
Probably a lot of these are going to be flexible and possibly changing these easement boundaries if you need to. That's future.
Anything else? With that, I'll open the public comment. Any comments from the public hearing?
Glenn Litzenberger, 20 Clubhouse Drive. First of all, not opposed to any of this. I'm old. Regarding the pumping station, I'm sure at least 1, 2, or 3 of you have been inside pumping stations before, sewage stations. I'm old, as I said. I'm used to Wi-Fi for notifications for alarm problems. I see the engineer's comment they wanted fiber optics. I don't know if that's better now, or if that's current state, or if Wi-Fi would be adequate. But I just thought that was maybe an additional expense for the fiber optics. The 10 horsepower pumps, I think is absolutely minimal. 2 of them. The control panel, I'm glad I heard about that. I'm sure the pumps are going to be alternating periodically. Got to be room for doing maintenance on these pumps or replacing them inside the building. And lastly, I hope that there's some kind of a charcoal filter or something for the exhaust, because the 2 lots next to the sewage station, since it's a prevailing westerly wind, if you've been inside sewage stations, it's not the best smell in the world. And prevailing wind will blow that aroma to those 2 lots next to it. So hopefully there's some kind of a charcoal filter or something even better. I don't know. But I'm not opposed to anything with this proposal. It's just enhancements. And with that, I'll be quiet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments?
I'm a little behind the 8 ball here. I just found out about all of this.
Your name and address,
Sorry,
please?
Carol Albano. I just moved on Clubhouse. I'm at 15. I moved in May. Probably would have moved to this area had I known this all was going to be developed. I like it. While it's wild behind me, there's nothing. And the way my house is graded, it comes up on a hill. Now, I'm not quite sure where this pump is going to be. Is it the end of Prestwick, or is it on Clubhouse?
It's going to be,
Because Prestwick, at the end of Prestwick, has the sign.
yeah, it's going to be on Archer Road at Clubhouse Drive. Or Vista Village Drive, sorry.
It's a little confusing, but, so there's different phases, from what I understand, of the development. So where I am located on Clubhouse Drive is, getting this right, is like phase 6. It's hard to tell from these maps. Right.
This is.
Right, that's the first, the phase, that's 2.
Phase 2 is not with us.
So what I need clarified is if is there anything being built behind where we are?
Phase 6.
Nothing is proposed at this point. Only Phase 2 has been approved.
So at some point, when can we discuss,
When they come back in for a hearing.
do you have a time frame of development?
We don't.
Not at this time.
Because I do have some concerns about environmental assessment and grading of the property and how close are we to our backyard.
Okay. Any other comments? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing portion of the...
Second?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I also vote yes. Mayor, you're in agreement that there's not a significant change to this, a need for seeker, correct?
I think we're amending it, so there needs to be some.
Okay.
Disagree?
It was mentioned that there would be no seeker because that's why I'm asking.
If I may, the only amendment to seeker would be the creation of the pump station lot.
Which would be actually seeker.
Did you receive a form, Paul? I don't remember seeing a seeker form, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I can answer that. I do not believe that we've submitted an additional seeker form, as we figured that this was still generally consistent with
Let me see if I can find his original. We can reread it.
Okay.
And then make it a condition upon supplying a revised seeker.
I have part 2 and 3, just not part 1.
Paul, I do have I don't know if this quite cuts it, but I do have the short EAF from the area variance. It does not address, it does discuss about that, but it's more focused for the zoning board of appeals.
Give me 3 minutes.
Thank you.
While Paul's doing that, application 4 and 5 are related to the pump station, correct? The subdivision approval and the preliminary site plan.
That's correct.
And then the first, application number 3 on the form is for the subdivision of Phase 6 and the other lots. Okay.
So that second, or the third application, or the last one, the realty subdivision, I do believe that is in conformance with the previously approved plan. That's the creation of the new entities requires a conditional.
So the subdivision approval, may I correct, is the one we need to do seeker on? The amended subdivision approval, we do not? Application number 3.
Is the one that we need to do secret.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
I think we're saying the same thing.
okay, so,
I think for the 2 lot subdivision,
Yes.
that is consistent with the approvals. We're basically, all we're doing is we're subdividing the remaining lands off at this point instead of doing it at the end of Phase 6 or whatever the last lot would be. So all of the development areas are retained as was originally reviewed under seeker.
I see what you're saying. So
The only additional lot is with the pump station lot.
so, yeah, the preliminary subdivision is for the new 2 lots where the pump station is.
Okay, so there's 3 applications.
Correct.
Number 3 on the agenda. That is the one that you're saying is consistent with the prior approvals.
No, I'm sorry. It's
Okay.
the third. So it's
Okay.
6, yes.
Okay, that's
Yes.
easy, okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so number 3 on the agenda is the one that we need to do secret.
Okay.
So your first application.
Yes.
And then amending the site plan approval and the preliminary and final subdivision approval,
Which are 4 and 5 on the agenda.
correct. Do not need additional seeker.
I would agree with that.
Okay. All right, good. So let's go to application 4 as far as conditions. This is the amended site plan approval for the utility. The conditions I have is approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works. The town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. All previous conditions imposed by this board are still pertinent to the application and remain in effect. Any other conditions?
Yeah, I, just listening to members of the public, particularly Glenn's comment about odor. I think we should condition that the Monroe County Pure Waters make some provisions for odor control at the pump station. There are some pretty simple systems to incorporate into a pump station like that. It's right, there's going to be houses all around it, so I think that one's really easy. The pumps, I'm sure, will be sized, Pure Water to size them correctly. Yeah.
So Monroe County Pure Waters make provisions at the pump station to mitigate any odors? Is that what you said?
Yeah, make provisions for odor control at the pump station per town engineer's review and approval.
Thank you. So we'll move forward with application number 4. I've added that one condition of the ones that I just mentioned. So with those conditions, the application of Vistavilla Holdings LLC, CO Bill Howard, 3313 Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York, 14624, application owner to amend site plan approval of Vista Villas Phase 2, granted April 9th, 2024, for public service utility parcel at the property located at 100 Clubhouse Drive in the PRD district. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I also vote yes. So application number 4 has been approved. And then for application number 5. Yep, the conditions that I have are the approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works. The town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. All previous conditions imposed by this board that are still pertinent to the application remain in effect. And that's the only ones I had. Any others? This is for the preliminary subdivision, 1 lot, remaining 2 lots.
Creaky door.
You have to address the 90 days. You have to vote on that. And planning, that's up to the planning board.
Okay.
So make sure you include that for site plan, right? 3? Yeah, number 3. For subdivision and, yeah.
So it'd be number 5.
That would be item number 3.
Just so they note that you have to vote on it.
No, I wrote it on one of these.
What are the 3?
I did it on number 3. I did it on number 3. Do you want that on all 3 of those, Paul? The 90-day extension?
3 and 4, if you're going to do the number 5 is the brand new application. So
I agree with that, yeah.
Okay.
3 and 4.
We all set with seeker? And that's for the new application is number 5, correct?
Correct.
So that's the one that we would do seeker on, is the new application, right? Okay, not number 3.
I believe it's
So Number 3,
Agenda item, are you talking about?
agenda item number 3.
Is it-
Have the modification. to
Would have the
overall.
modified seeker.
Okay.
As with agenda item 4. Would have the modified seeker. Agenda item 5 is a new application that thus has its own seeker.
correct.
That seeker is consistent with the previous seeker resolution.
You'll be submitting an amended form, correct?
Sure, yes.
Yes.
That's the one you want the amended form for, correct?
Agenda items 3 and 4 are the ones I want. We just submitted it to you.
So which one?
Correct, 5 is a new application.
Right, so you need to do seeker on that. That's the one he's going to send in, the seeker form, correct? You have that there, he's going to amend it? Is that what you said, you went to find it?
No, I went to find the seeker form for 3 and 4. Agenda items 3 and 4.
So then we need a seeker form for 5. That's what you're saying, right?
I guess if I may, so Item number 5 includes subdivision of the remaining lands. That was included with the 2015 seeker review. Those remaining lands have not changed. And then it also subdivides phases 3 through 6 as a whole parcel, which will be developed in accordance with the seeker resolution and the seeker documents that were submitted in 2015. So those, we flip that map over, those are still consistent. They haven't changed anything from that original. And the plan is to continue with the development of phases 3 through 6 as was originally reviewed and approved back in 2015. So those are consistent with the seeker review from that, from the preliminary plan approvals. I believe the only modification is the one extra lot for the pump station lot, where that portion.
All right. The seeker he provided you takes care of 3 and 4. With regards to number 5.
Yep.
You want to go back to the approval back in 15 or 14, I believe it was. Well, weren't they subdividing that into 4 parcels?
No. So you have phases 3 through 6.
I know phases 3 through 6, you don't have to go up there. I know what phases 3 through 6 look like, but my question is, wasn't the 15 item that you're referring to, that was not the subdivision into 4 parcels?
That might have been part of that, but the remaining lands, as part of the Vista Villas phases, we're going to go back 2 through 6, as was reviewed back in 14 or 15. That had the secret resolution back at that time, and that was for this development that's currently being proposed and continue to be proposed to be developed in respect to the way that was reviewed.
If I recall, Paul, in April, we required, in 2015, seeker was approved for the entire parcel, all phases 2 through 6, correct? But when they came back in because of the age, we requested seeker to be done on phase 2 only.
What you have in your hand.
Right. And when they came in to develop phases 3 through 6, I believe we were going to do seeker on those phases at that time for the development. You recall that? Because of the age of it and the changes in the area, we required seeker for phase 2.
Right.
A new seeker.
That's what you have in your hand.
Right.
What he's doing is basically subdividing phases 3 through 6 away from the remaining land. Property's gone through a couple of subdivision iterations, so it takes time to wrap one's head around what's going on.
Yes.
One moment.
If I may, from the, just notes that we had from the April 9th meeting, from the way that we understood it was phase 2 needed a new seeker. And I believe that's because it quasi-obtained final approval that and had expired. So when that came back, we did do a new seeker for phase 2. That's the form that you have there.
Correct.
Note that we have any changes to 3 to 6 require town board action, and then a planning board, and then a seeker review, because if it was a change from as it was proposed in 15. So for phase 2, the planning board declared themselves lead agent, determined it
Right.
unlisted action.
Correct.
But I believe that we understood that as long as 3 through 6 didn't change, then they would not need the additional seeker review. Because they were still.
I don't I don't disagree with that, I don't disagree with that. I just don't have a secret for the subdivision of the remaining lands. That's where I'm, and if we're going to utilize the previous seeker, you should have, I would have wanted that with the submission with that, or with your application. I don't see it in there.
The first three, you're just amending what was approved.
That's correct.
Number 5, you're not, you're changing it. It's a new application, which requires seeker. New applications require seeker. So that's why we require,
Yeah, perhaps maybe what we, if we can move forward with 3 and 4.
Yes.
And then perhaps table 5.
yes.
And then we come back from the seeker, and then we can make sure that, we can discuss with town staff, discuss with the planning board if it's required.
Yeah, that's,
Does that sound appropriate?
yeah, that's the better way.
Would you like to make that request?
Yes, so if we could request from the board to move forward on 3 and 4 with the amended seeker document that was provided, and then request that the board table the application number 5 for the 2-lot subdivision for further coordination.
Okay, we'll start with number 5 on the request to table this application. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes, that's approved, that's tabled. And then for application number 3, as far as seeker goes, I do have the form that was used for that. Thank you for providing that. So as far as seeker goes, I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency based on evidence and information presented at the meeting, determine the application to be an unlisted action with no significant environmental impact.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
I also vote yes. So for conditions for application number 3, approval is subject to final approval of the town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works. Town engineer and the Commissioner of Public Works must be given copies of any correspondence with other approving agencies. All previous conditions imposed by this board that are still pertinent to the applicant remain in effect. And along with this, the applicant has requested a 90-day extension from April 9th approval to complete, for the completion of all the other approvals. And Roanoke County Pure Waters make provisions at the pump station to mitigate any odor control. Any other conditions or approvals for this one?
Read that last condition again about odor control.
Sure. Roanoke County Pure Waters make provisions at the pump station to mitigate any odor control, so really to mitigate any,
Mitigate any,
Mitigate odor control, we want to.
mitigate odors.
mitigate odor, right?
Thank you.
Okay. Any other changes or conditions? Okay, so with those conditions and the request for a 90-day extension from the April 9th approval, April 9th, 2024 approval,
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I also vote yes, so that is also approved.
Thank you very much.
Let's go back, should we go back to 4, because we did that without the seeker, so let's go back to 4 and redo that, and add the 90-day to that one. Okay, Okay, so for application number 4, we will add seeker. I'll make a motion to declare the board lead agency as far as seeker, based on evidence and information presented at this meeting, determine the application to be non-listed action with no significant environmental impact. Do I have a second?
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. So I already read the conditions for this one. I have just added the applicant's request for a 90-day extension from the April 9th, 2024 approval, so they can complete all approvals. With those conditions and that request,
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. So 3 and 4 have been approved. 5 has been tabled at your request.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Meeting, yes. Meeting minutes from the September meeting. Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
Yes.
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 I also vote yes. Any other business? Meeting is adjourned.